bringing you Giant fans and the Jet Fan Podcast. We're here live each week to talk Giants and Jets football, discuss the happenings around the NFL, unload our pet peeves, and answer your questions. Go to our YouTube page and download our podcast wherever you get yours. We're 75% Giants, 25% Jets, and 100% angry. Let's get to the show. All right, it's our third week of doing the live stream, and it's been working out pretty good. I had some mic issues last week, so we apologize for everyone that could hear me swallow and breathe heavy. I swear it wasn't over, the happiness of the season, but there was some loud noises coming from my mic apparently. So hopefully we get that fixed. We got Darren, the intern, working on that. But we got a full show tonight. We got two sets of guests. One, we got a group of guys from the Burgh Cave podcast, which is our it's a Pittsburgh Steeler podcast. They had us on in the off season, and we're looking forward to talking to those guys about the Steelers and just what's going on in their world. There's been a lot of changes on their side, as we know. Tomlin left, and McCarthy's there. But guys, any opening comments you got before we bring them on stage?
I mean, yeah, we need some football back. I mean, if you think about the storylines we got going on, we've got like a massage parlor pervert as a starting quarterback in the NFL. We've got a billionaire owner, hooking up with $150 hookers and, trailer parks, dildos throwing across the stage at WNBA. Like, enough is enough. Like, let's get some football back. We have some real stories. And the only trade this week in football was a guy named Booty. Like, what? Come on, let's get some football going. Giants
had a trade. We'll talk about that. But Josh Azudu got traded to the Chiefs for a 2028 seventh rounder. So
I think I heard you mention the dildo going across the court at WNBA. Yeah, that's classic. It
is classic, and I mean that's all we talk about anymore in sports. Like, can we just get some football back?
And real football, not preseason.
No, this is just garbage.
We say this every August, right? I mean, we know we have to go through these preseason games, but my God, they're just brutal to watch. We just need real regular season football, games that count. This is just, by now, the third week of preseason, it's just it's like root canal, man.
Yep,
no doubt. Ready to go.
So we got a guest this time. I don't know if both guys from the Burgh Cave are going to be on or just Dudek, but we're looking forward to hearing what they have to say. The Burgh Cave, if you guys haven't checked it out, great podcast, great production value.
Oh my gosh, they make us look like absolute garbage. I mean, with their production,
we're freaking amateurs. These guys have like it looks like they're in a studio with a scroller going down below. They got a self-proclaimed ticker there.
We hear Scott burping, and these guys have the production podcast like you wouldn't believe.
Did these guys actually wear pants? Because I'm like in my underwear right now. You can't tell off screen because you only see the top part of my, but from my neck up. But most of the time I'm not even wearing pants. So yeah.
So I don't know if we have both Eric Dudek and or GB here. I think it's just Dudek's here right now. But how's it going, big guy?
I'm doing well, guys. How are you?
Not too bad.
Good.
By the way, I definitely do have pants on too. They're actually red shorts. Don't match anything. Top up. But do got the gym shorts on. I'm back here, brother. Appreciate it.
I have first question. Sometimes, but tonight I have shorts on. So yeah, we're good, guys.
I love it.
First question: what are you drinking?
Well, you know what? I just got back running errands, and I had to guzzle down some iced tea to quench the thirst, but I'm just staying simple with the Miller Lite right here.
Yes, all right. That's what I got. There you go, Dudek. Way to go, brother.
Nice. Honestly, guys, this is the best value. These pint cans for like $28 a case, man, they are the best value. And I keep this Yeti thing in my freezer. And then when I bring it out this way, it keeps this thing cold. But we're actually on our third night in a row, so that's why I'm doing some pods, and that's why I'm just chilling out with the Miller Lights.
Yeah, no, we saw you were doing a collab with Southern Tier Brewing Company. By the way, I'm drinking Voodoo Ranger IPA. I can't really see it on my camera, but I didn't realize this. We got something in common. We have the Southern Tier Brewing Company down here in Charlotte as well, an outlet, and both Giant Mike and I are from the Southern Tier of New York, so there's a little bit of combination there.
Listen, man, Scott, it's my favorite brewery, man. The Harvest is my favorite one, and I was there doing with my buddy JJ Kitchen and Harry Paceras. They're big Pitt men. I'm a Pitt fan, but I didn't go to Pitt. I'm just a fan. Those gentlemen are Pitt guys, and we did a meet and greet down there. We had some ex-players and got to talk to some of the families of the current players and everything. And Southern Tier down there, it's right beside PNC Park. And the manager there, she's a Pitt grad as well, too. So it was kind of like, a marriage of everything. And tell you what, the harvests were flowing that day because it was a beautiful day. And, it was great because the fans kept buying us beers and stuff. And those are like 7% IPAs. And my buddy had to drive home. I'll tell you that. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. I make a rule not to drink during a podcast, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's right.
Dude, if you've not seen any of our podcasts, there were a couple last year when actually Scott passed out on the podcast.
Please tell me I can go back and watch that.
Yes, you can.
There we go.
So, Dudek, introduce the Burgh Cave. Give us like the 60-second overview before we get into everything.
No, I appreciate that, Scott. So what the Burgh Cave is, the idea was taking the little Google Maps guy and dropping him at the corner of that sports bar, dropping him in your man cave, on your deck, wherever guys and gals talk football, because there's some good conversations that are had there. A lot better than what's on TV nowadays as well, too.
God.
So that's why we wanted to start doing that. And, we didn't take it serious for a while until about last football season, till we started, investing in the software, which you mentioned, I think, before we went on air. We started doing that, and then obviously partnering with a lot of other podcasters like your guys, yourself, Guys Night. Obviously was able to get in with JJ Kitchen. So it is a nonsensical, non-hot take football conversation where we talk mostly Steelers and Pitt, but we're going to branch out to everything everything football. Really, we just had GB's high school on. They are the 2-time Western PA champion and defending state champions. They're going for a 3-peat. So we had the kids on, a lot of the seniors. Way for them to kind of, have a platform to give back into their community, give back in a sense of promoting their community and such. So it's all things football, but obviously dominated by the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Awesome.
Yeah, I know. No, I mean, when you had Novak and I earlier this summer, I mean, we had a great time talking to you guys, but also, I've watched your pod since then, and, you guys really break things down in detail. You go into, the specifics of what's going on with your teams, and we love it. So, I think you're doing a great job, and you do like multiple like shows. You're not just doing the Steelers coverage, right?
Yeah, we do. I mean, I'm a football nut. I mean, I heard you guys coming on saying you hate preseason football. It's definitely not my cup of tea either, but I love it because it's football, because I like watching guys fight for their lives, and since they don't want to go sell insurance or bag groceries, these guys want to play ball. It's sloppy at times. I mean, the game, or the Jets game was very boring, but it was a lot of defensive. There was a lot of defensive playing, right?
Yep.
But no, we like to talk everything. And we got the All-22 ready to go for this year, through the season, so we're going to bust out the All-22. And GB and I think we give a little bit different perspective because I played through college. Not that I'm right or wrong. It's just a different perspective, allow fans to watch the game maybe a little bit different and just complement the way they already watch.
That's great. So speaking of the game, I mean, it was a 17-0 game. It's preseason. I mean, the Giants went through and blew out the Dolphins, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But the Steeler game being 17-0 really doesn't say a lot because starters aren't playing. I don't know if you're going to see starters, especially Rodgers, in this last preseason game. But Novak, thoughts on the Jets side first, and then we'll get to the Steelers.
Yeah, I mean, so. Dude, you probably feel the same way. I mean, I'm paying a lot of attention to the first quarter and second quarter. Once you get to the third, fourth quarter, I'm looking for maybe someone that shines a little bit that might get a roster spot at that point.
Yeah.
I will say I was very pleased with Geno Smith and the Jets offense on the first drive. I think he was 7 for 7. One was like a tipped ball to an offensive lineman, but nonetheless, they got into the end zone. It counts. Yeah, right. He's 7 for 7. I thought they looked pretty good. They were sharp. He got 6 different receivers involved. So I was pleased from an offensive perspective. And I have to ask you because, if I'm a Steeler fan, I got to be worried about Broderick Jones because he was getting beat left and right. He got beat by Bailey. He got beat by a guy that we picked off the street. Lynn, I think is his name, like 3 days before the game. And Broderick Jones looks like he is not unless I'm not seeing this, I don't watch a lot of Steeler games. But he didn't not look good in pass protection.
No, he didn't. I mean, he's still working his way back from neck fusion surgery in the offseason.
That's right. He did have that. I forgot.
In all honesty, he's going to be probably our swing tackle this year because they did not pick up his 5th-year option, obviously, and they're probably not going to because there's too many question marks. Dylan Cook struggled on the right side, number 60, who's the starter.
He did.
But that's actually Max Ionachor, our first-round pick, actually just started practicing this week. Outside shot, he plays tomorrow night in Buffalo. But if not, I mean, Dylan Cook may. Listen, we're lucking out because Atlanta, our opening game, their 2 top edge rushers are out for suspension. So we might be able to buy another week with Ionichor not starting, or if he does start, maybe kind of break himself into it. But no, you're right. But Broderick Jones is not going to start this year unless there's an injury, and because he actually went on the right side, because he went on the left side before he got hurt. Futano struggled. But listen, there's 4 new starters on the offensive line. That's because 2 of them went from the right to the left, so that's a new starter. And then we have our journeyman guards. Right guard is probably going to go to Hoffman, the free agent we signed from Dallas. And then it's Dylan Cook holding the fort down until Max Ionichor can start.
Okay. Did not know, but yeah, I thought other than that, I mean, I don't know if Cardone, Mike, you guys have any questions for him, but I was pleased with the Jets' offensive performance at the front end, but it was a very boring game.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Novak, if you remember, we caught a little bit of it on Friday night at the Beer Temple, where we'll be hosting a live pod next week. I'm sure we'll talk about that before we go off the air tonight. But no, dude, this is Cardone here. I heard great things about the Burgh Cave. I'm going to check it out. I got to admit, I haven't really gotten around to that yet, but I will certainly. My question is that how weird is it, or is it, that to not see Mike Tomlin on the sidelines? I'm sure you've gotten that question a lot. But, I know a good chunk of Steeler fans. You guys are everywhere. Scott and I know we're good friends with a Steeler fan long time. And what is it like to not see Tomlin on the sideline? Is it sort of, give your thoughts on that.
Yeah, man. You know what? It's still something to get used to because, I mean, listen, I'm the ripe age of 50. So I caught the tail end of Chuck Noll, but all I knew was Bill Cowher and Mike Tomlin. And it was more weird seeing him on the Hall of Fame game behind the studio desk than it was not seeing him on the sideline, because I was one that did not want Tomlin gone. I was a Tomlin guy, but I also realized it probably was time for a change. We'll see. I mean, because you don't see the fruits of the labor of the new staff until the regular season hits. I do think Mike McCarthy, though he's not the traditional young hire, I think really he was brought in because of TJ, because of Cam, others, to try to get a playoff push. But also, I've said this many times on our pod. Yes, I want the playoff wins. It's been way too long for the Steelers to not have a playoff win. So if they get a couple of those, but if he finds the next franchise quarterback in the next 5 years, then I think the hire was a success.
Yeah, I guess from the Giants' perspective, we won a couple titles with Tom Coughlin, but it seemed like he ran his course a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you don't realize, it's the old saying, right? You don't know where you got till it's gone, because since then until this year, Harbaugh is supposed to be a savior for us. But as you know, I mean, we went through just a ringer of just horrific head coach hirings. And it's when you're going through that, there's nothing more painful than just bad play on the field. But when you don't have the leadership and the coaching on the sidelines, it just all combines to just be a bad mix.
Yeah, no doubt. We were all Tomlin supporters here. We would often talk about how because you hear Steeler fans and we want this guy gone, and we were just like, well, we will take him. And I understand we've had several conversations with Steeler fan friends who were like, well, you guys just don't understand. It's just we're never getting anywhere because we always are around 500. We don't get a great draft pick, and it rinse and repeat, right? And we're just thinking here like, wow, 500, holy cow! We'd love to be seeing that for a little while. What are your thoughts on Drew Aller? He seems to be a big topic of conversation coming out of the preseason and that game.
Yeah, no, you know what? I was not a fan of the pick right away because of what he looked like in college. His mechanics were terrible. Obviously, the arm is there, but Jeff George had a great arm too. But I'm going to tell you, just his mechanics in the game and what we've seen, on highlights from that they're showing, in camp. I didn't get a chance to go up to camp this year, but he's showing that it could get there. He's showing a lot of promise. Obviously, he's QB3 no matter what. The only real quarterback battle this year in preseason was Will Howard versus Rudolph for QB2. And then, Howard, did some good things, but he pretty much shit the bed, so he's probably going to be practice squad, and Rudolph will be the backup. Aller, this is a redshirt year. If he can get his footwork down, if he can get the mental down, You saw even in the game against the Jets, he 3 balls that just made you just go,
wow.
The floater down the sideline.
Yep.
Then he hit on the last play, that back shoulder throw that he hit that actually Howard missed Bernard in the first quarter, the ball placement, and then he threw a dig over the corner, over the linebacker, and he beat a double team and it hit the guy like right here. And you just see that, and you're in awe, and you know why Mike McCarthy drafted him. And I always said this too, is I trust the coach. How many quarterbacks has he worked with? Aaron Rodgers threw 16 passes before Mike McCarthy got to Green Bay. Now, he also picked Alex Smith over Aaron Smith in the draft, but then he also developed a 4th-round pick and Dak Prescott into a Pro Bowl quarterback. So he has the track record of developing quarterbacks. Let's just hope that Drew Aller's that guy. I like what I see, but I'm encouraged. But I'm obviously not going to get too hyped up yet.
Yeah, I agree with that totally. And if he is, if he is what he's kind of starting to look like very early, what a great future setup for you guys. There's no better bridge quarterback than Aaron Rodgers, right? So you got a guy in there to hold the fort down, and if Aller can be that guy, you guys are set up pretty well for the future.
We've joked a couple times in this pod that, a Tyler Loop missed field goal gave us Harbaugh. We might have been sitting here with Tomlin if that kick goes through. Never know what would happen from a Giant standpoint. But, Dudek, as you're watching the Steelers in camp, what's the good and the bad you're seeing? What's your take on how they're going to do under McCarthy this year? Is this and a subset of that, if McCarthy does not have a winning season, is this a one and done, or is there going to be some grace period, do you think?
No, the Rooneys don't do one and done. They're not. They preach patience. They are definitely in the long game. Now, he signed a 5-year contract. I don't know if he goes much further on that because he's 62 years old. You know what I mean? See how much he wants to coach. The good is this might be the deepest Steeler team I can remember in a long, long time. Maybe outside of 2017 that laid that egg against Jacksonville. To me, that was a Super Bowl caliber team. But, everything else after the 2010 loss to McCarthy in the Super Bowl in Dallas, the Steelers, they had a lot of good teams, but they didn't have a real championship contender. I'm not saying this team is a championship contender, but there's a lot of depth. The secondary goes 9 deep. Okay. Joey Porter will at least be back. We'll see what happens with the contract, but Joey Porter, Jamel Dean at the corner, Asante Samuel, Eccles is playing really well at the slot.
Former Jet.
You also have Dalen Everett, we drafted from Georgia, is really good. I call him Ike Taylor with hands because he caught my eye at the combine, high pointing the ball, doing all the stuff that receivers do, and he's a DB. Then you have Jalen Ramsey, will be your starting free safety. Elliott's back. We got Jaquan Brisker, and then we got Jenkins we just signed from the Browns. There's a lot of flexibility in this defense of what Patrick Graham likes to do. You're going to get multiple looks. And I haven't even hit the linebackers yet. And then you also on defense, you have Harmon. They re-signed Benton for $72 million. They're kicking him out to more of a 3-5 technique, not a nose where he got blown off the ball. So there's a lot of flexibility in the defense. The wide receiving core, last year we had DK Metcalf and a bunch of nonsense. And by the way, I am so sorry to hear about Calvin Austin.
Yeah,
I mean,
Calvin
Austin was one of my favorite dudes, man. He's a good kid. I know he'll work his tail off, but I was looking forward to watching him play with you guys this year too. But speedy recovery to Calvin Austin.
He was having a great camp too. It's a shame. He was going to be the slot guy, which they didn't know if he would be, but he looked great in the slot, punt returner.
Yeah. So, and if you remember, I mean, like I said, so we have DK. We bring over Michael Pittman Jr., which is great. We need that chain moving wide receiver. And then Jeremy Bernard, which I think is, other than Cooper Jr., which I was on record, I still believe was the best receiver in the draft or will be.
Agreed.
So now we have Bernard in there. Roman Wilson, I was having a great camp, but he's having these bugaboos with route running, drifting on routes and things like that, where their second interception the Jets had, it was definitely Howard was late in the throw, bad read and such, but man, Roman was drifting, allowed that guy to go straight and undercut that ball, made a pick. Great play by him, by the way, but it was just he has these bugaboos. Rico Dowdle and Jalen Warren at the running back position. The question mark is the offensive line, and can it hold up? There's the talents there, but there's just a lot of moving parts. If that can settle, the Steelers can win the AFC North again and host another playoff game. If it doesn't settle, we might get an earlier look at Drew Aller, and not by choice. So
that was going to be my comment. That if the offensive line doesn't hold up like it should, Aaron Rodgers, who we refer to as the Dick, is definitely going to call them out for the reason as to why he's not winning.
Yeah.
So I do have to ask the question, because I had Rodgers as my quarterback for 2 years. What a disastrous 2 years that was. And I don't think it's his. Well, some of it is his fault. Some of it is not. But what do Steelers fans think of him? Like, how do you judge this guy? How do you embrace him? How do you not? Like, what's the overall, feeling for the Dick?
Yeah, the Dick. That's a loaded question. I will tell you this: two quick layers to that. How I perceive him is what he does on the field.
Yeah,
I don't care about anything else. I really
totally
don't.
Agree. Yep.
He can go sit in a cave and do what he wants to do on his time. That's up to him, right? As I'm not going to judge anybody else for doing what they do when they're not at work. And
Right.
people who do, my opinion, I'm sorry, need to get a life.
Right. Agreed.
There was a lot of Steelers fans that were angry last year when he came in because of the stuff that he did. And obviously, I don't talk about this on the Burgh Cave, but there's political reasons why they don't like him. Has nothing to do with his talent on the football field.
Sure.
Yep.
He won over a lot of Steeler fans last year with the way he played, even though the team was kind of up and down, but also the reports of how he's embracing Will Howard, how he's embracing Mason Rudolph, and he is coaching these guys. Because remember, all I heard was he was a bad teammate. And that might have been true at some point in time. Don't get me, I'm not going to lie and say that it wasn't. But now this year, the only thing that irks the fans was the decision. Why keep waiting? Why keep waiting?
Yep.
My opinion is, and this is what pisses a lot of fans and media off, they're just pissed because they're not telling them.
Yeah,
there was dialogue between him and the organization both years.
That's a good point.
As long as those two were cool, I'm cool.
Yep.
Right? And that's why I think, and that's what I think with that. But on the field, I think he played very well. I think he came into Arthur's. First off, he came here last year because of Mike Tomlin. He wanted to, that's the only reason he came here. Arthur Smith was a good, safe offensive coordinator for him, but it limited someone like Aaron Rodgers, whose arm is still there. He doesn't have the mobility, but his arm is still there. I think now the only reason he's back this year is because of Mike McCarthy, and I think that's going to be more of an open offense, and I think he'll play pretty well as long as they can hold him upright.
I look, he was a great teammate. Every Jet player would say that he was a great teammate when he was here. I think partially he's on McAfee all the time. He's got all that off the field stuff. And in New York, I don't think that plays well. I think it gets discussed too much. I think it becomes an issue, and then it spirals. And so maybe in Pittsburgh, he can kind of get away with that kind of thing. He can still play. We all know it. We saw it. He's not what he was. He's not 2014 Aaron Rodgers anymore. But I think with the Steelers, he doesn't need to be. He needs to be top 15 quarterback, and the Steelers can go 10-7 and get in the playoffs again. That's the way I see it.
What is your prediction for the Steelers this year?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Out on a limb.
So we got it last night when we did the AFC North. I said 12-5 wins a division from anybody, whether it could be the Ravens, Bengals, or the Steelers. So that's what that's my hope. I mean, put it this way, they were 10-7 and they got better. I know every year is different, right? Every year is completely different, and everything resets itself. Who knows? We have a murder row coming in the middle, I think in November, where it's the Eagles, Texans, and Broncos in back-to-back weeks, in 3 weeks.
That's rough.
I mean, that's a murder row. And then after that we play somebody else, and then we play Baltimore. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, but I also like later in the year because we tend to gel more. And again, I was with Tomlin, but we tend to gel as the year goes along. I'm going to say what I just said last year: is between 11-6 and 12-5, because obviously they're going to struggle against certain teams. But I think that the division is there to be had. It depends on what Cincinnati does. Can they protect Joe Burrow? Is the defense really going to be better? We'll see. I said this last night. The guys who analyze the AFC North are the laziest analysts, because every year the Ravens are going to win it. Burrow's going to be great leading to the playoffs because he's so great with the offense. The Steelers are going to have a losing record for the first time, and the Browns have a good young team. It's been that same thing for the last 7 years.
Yeah.
We've been waiting for this losing season for I don't know how long, and now that Tomlin's gone, it's going to be because Tomlin's gone, we're going to have a losing season. Like, here we go again. Obviously, eventually, we're going to have a losing season. But I think this year with Rodgers, with the new, because it's I think you guys will see this with the Giants, the new voice. Sometimes that just rejuvenates franchises, and McCarthy's a Yinzer. He's going to put that extra effort in to bring his hometown team. Whether he does it or not remains to be seen. But my prediction is I'll just say 12-5, and they're going to win a division.
Speaking of new blood, I mean, what have you guys talked? You and GB talked, especially on the pod last night. Did you talk about the fact that there's 3 new coaches in the division out of the 4 teams? And
yeah, so it was funny because one of my Ravens buddies brought it up. He said, "Isn't this ironic that the 2 most stable franchises in the division, and probably in all of the NFL, are 2 of the ones that have the new head coaches this year?" And it's funny how they went the exact same year. There's going to be a lot of new, and it's oddly that Cincinnati's the one team that has the same head coach this year. You know what I mean? Because they're one of the ones that usually have the most turnover. It's going to be interesting as the regular season goes around. I really looking forward to. We don't play Baltimore until the end of the year. I think 2 of the last 5 weeks. So it's going to be a while before we play Baltimore, which I still think is the best rivalry, not only in the NFL but all of sports, maybe outside of Ohio State, Michigan. But it's going to be different. But I got to see what the regular season looks like, because your guys are right with the preseason. You look at player evaluation. There's no game planning going on. There's nothing else. It's organized practice, right? So we'll see as the regular season starts to roll around.
Yeah, Giant Mike's a big Michigan fan, so he understands the rivalry with Ohio
Yeah,
State.
and I would agree with that. That's one of the I don't get into sitting down and watching a lot of start to finish non-Giants. I kind of flip around when the Giants are on, but I will watch the Steelers Ravens. No doubt. And then the Yankees, Red Sox. I think it's all right there in sports. Those are all
and you could definitely make arguments. And I'm not going to say you're wrong just because you're arguing against the Steelers and Ravens being the best rivalry, because there's cases to be made in all of it. But it's definitely a top rivalry.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
So a lot of what you said tonight, Dudek, kind of lines up. I think everyone would agree with a lot of the things we talked about, a lot of the feelings we have about certain things. So I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you when you come on this podcast, what are your thoughts on Mr. Justin Fields? He's one of our favorite NFL players, and I just thought I'd get, since we got a Steeler fan on here, that we'd grab some Justin Fields' opinion.
No problem whatsoever. As a person, I like the kid a lot. He's somebody who takes ownership of what he does. He's a great athlete, rocket of an arm, but for some reason, it doesn't click upstairs. We're reading the defenses, and he did it actually. I saw a highlight of the Kansas City preseason game, missed a wide open guy. He struggled with that. People say we should never went to Russell Wilson that year, and I get reason why. Fields was 4-2. People got to realize when he was 4-2, our defense was playing absolutely out of their skulls.
Lights out.
I think the one game we held the Chargers to a -5 yards of offense in the entire second half, and we won the game 20-10. So Fields is a good. Listen, he's going to be in the NFL for a long, long time as a backup. He's not a starting quarterback, but when he was here, he was a great kid. When he got demoted for Russell Wilson, because Russell Wilson was signed way back. The only reason Fields was here is because Kenny Pickett threw a fit that Russell Wilson was brought in. So they said, "We'll get out of here." Fields is a good guy, but I still don't think he's a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Great.
When he entered the league, I predicted he would not last 4 years in the NFL. Of course, I'm a Michigan fan, so there was some salt behind that prediction. And
trust me, we get a lot of Ohio State and Penn State. That's part of the quarterback bent, or who's better, Aller or Howard. It's because the college affiliations have gone up to the NFL level. It's like, slow down.
Yeah. Thank you.
No, I appreciate all the insight, Dudek. What questions do you have for us this year? Anything you want to know from our side, both Giants and Jets?
Well, I'll start off with the Jets because I just saw a little rumblings on the Twitters. Your owner is putting in the work for Tomlin already.
Yeah, I've heard that, and I'm not really surprised. I think this is the season. If the number is 6, if the Jets get to 6 or 7 wins and they look good in doing that, and we all know there's a difference between a 6 and 7 win team that's beating bad teams and getting their asses beat by every other team. That's not a good 6 and 7 team. If they're 6 and 7 and they're competitive and are more against the tougher teams, I think Glenn sticks around. Anything less than that, and I think Glenn is gone, and I think Woody Johnson, which it's comical that's his actual name, is going to throw every dollar that he has at Mike Tomlin to be the Jets coach, and I firmly believe that. So, this is not a bad situation to come into for Tomlin, because if you think about it, the Jets have 3 first-round draft picks next year, and they've got a lot of young talent. They're the second youngest team in the league with a lot of talent. They don't have a quarterback, but if they can draft that quarterback and Tomlin can come in, this is a team ready to win. And I firmly believe that. I believe in our GM. I do not believe in our coach. I do not believe in this organization in general. But I love our GM. I love what we've done. We are changing, hopefully, the trajectory of this garbage organization for the last 15 years.
Yeah. If not the Jets, do you think it's a given that Tomlin is back coaching next year or the year after? Is that inevitable?
Dungy,
you guys think?
You know what?
Just stay out.
I thought that Cowher would be back.
Yeah,
and he never went back.
Cowher's
situation was different. He walked away, family, and some other things with his wife at the time. That's what I hear. Obviously, I don't know for sure, but I think anybody who just paid attention would know that. Man, knowing Tomlin, I think he would come back, but it really depends on, where he's at with his family. Because, obviously 19 years, he probably sacrificed a lot of time with his family for the job, like a lot of head coaches do. But obviously, once a competitor, always a competitor. If the right situation comes up, and then maybe it is the Jets, it depends on, any head coach would love to come in and have 3 first-round picks and start building his team, with the GM stuff too. So we'll see. I got to ask also from the Jets as well. I mean, I saw a lot of good things with the defense as well, but just like with us with young quarterbacks, and again, it's preseason, you can't really tell. But what is your thoughts on Klubnik and his maturation? Again, we don't know what he's going to be. Even when you start, you still need about 25, 30 games to really assess him. But what's your assessment on Klubnik?
So I think out of the game, I did not like the draft pick at first. These guys know that. We did a post-draft pod, and I was unhappy with the Klubnik pick. That said, when I really started digging into it and looking at it, I felt like, look, the guy played 4 years at Clemson, and he had a lot of wins, and he had one bad year, and it was his senior year. And a lot went down at Clemson, which I don't think is necessarily his fault. Scott's a big Clemson fan. They had a bad offensive line. He was getting chased on every play. I would much rather take a chance on a 4th-round draft pick from Clemson at a big-time program than a Zach Wilson who played against Coastal Carolina in one of his bigger games. So I like the potential upside, but I will say this. If he's the guy, let's say the Jets are 2-8 and they put him in for the last 7 games or whatever it is, and he is actually good, think what the Jets now have. They have their quarterback, all these young talent, a great offensive line, Bailey as a great edge rusher, and 3 first-round draft picks, and probably the 3rd or 4th pick in the 2nd round next year. All of a sudden, we are a very, very, very stacked and talented team, if that's the case. But if that doesn't happen, then we'll have to see. But I am open to hopefully he's the guy.
The Jets could do Jets things with all those draft picks.
Dude, don't even go there. I mean, yes, we know this. Can I have some positivity? I've been in the friggin' playoffs in 15 years. 16 years. Thank you very much.
So anybody from the Giants could take this too, because we asked a lot less on our AFC North because there were so many new coaches. As fans, what do you think is different now with the Giants with Coach Harbaugh?
Harbaugh is the adult in the room. And from the day one that he's come in, he's shown a professionalism to say, look, you're going to focus on football. And I think first and foremost, out of all the coaches the Giants have had since Coughlin, No one's really done that. They've all come in, Ben McAdoo his first year, he came in with a suit 2 sizes too big. Dable seemed like he was on a good trajectory, and then Dable got so caught up on things. He was running into the blue tent to check on Jackson Dart last year. Just a lot of things that have irked us as Giant fans. I'll let Mike and Cardone talk about this, but I mean, it's just the professionalism from Harbaugh that he's all of a sudden brought practices back in the off season to where they're actual practices. People are playing hard and they're training hard.
It's simple for me. Harbaugh comes with a winning track record. Guy won a Super Bowl in this league, and so that comes with experience. So he brings in experience. He brings in respect. He brings in a winning culture. So the previous coaches we've had, none of those guys had that. They didn't have any of what Harbaugh brings. Harbaugh just brings. He commands just respect on the sidelines, in the locker room, with the media. All of that. He just brings a different aura, and that matters. I think it's still, even at this level, at the professional football, the NFL, just that presence in and around the clubhouse, the sideline, the locker room, the game planning. The guys won a Super Bowl, so I know it's been a number of years, but all you need is to know that he can do it. He's won in this league, and he can win again.
Yeah, I can't say much more than that. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, we have a running joke around here that we're not even an NFL football team, and we haven't been for some time. And, this guy is an NFL football coach. As Cardone said, he's won at this level. He's taken different teams far into the playoffs and won in different ways. And, I mean, if you just look at recent history, Scott went back a little bit there for McAdoo, but I mean, Joe Judge. And we thought we had something a little bit special and new in Dable, and that he was going to become one of those guys.
Right.
But I mean, he ended up being a bit of a buffoon as well. And it's like, all right, so I think this was the right move for the team. All right, let's just go get an NFL football coach.
Yep.
It's that simple. That's how broken down we all are. We're just looking for real NFL players, coaches. Yeah. Schemes, everything. Just bring them here. We'll take them.
To give you some perspective, Dudek, last podcast we got a question: which of our teams is going to hit 7 wins first? And the Steelers are sitting there going, "Well, we hit 7 wins every year. We're scrambling because the two of our teams combined don't hit 7 wins sometimes."
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I mean, I'm not one of those screaming spoiled brats that I call our fan base sometimes because they're wanting to get rid of a coach who drags Mason Rudolph and Duck Hodges to brink of playoff contention. Like I told you guys that one, and I don't know a lot of people know this, and also I'll tell it to your guys' audience as well. But Mike Tomlin coached 19 years for the Steelers. All 19 years, he coached one game where the Steelers were out of playoff contention.
Gosh, can you imagine?
One.
You know how jealous I am of that?
I'll tell you something like that. Yes, it does suck that we haven't had the playoff success, especially in the last 10 years. That does suck tremendously. But hindsight, I'm thankful because I also have a dysfunctional franchise in a city in the Pittsburgh Pirates who I don't even pay attention to baseball. Gave us a little bit of good stuff this year, but I'm just so thankful that Mike Tomlin did what he did. So if he ends up being the Jets, I'd be curious to see if he can repeat that with another franchise. So, but yeah, Cardone.
With that, can I slip in a quick trivia question? You probably know the answer to this. It's
sure. I got another couple questions for you guys, but go for it. Awesome.
Because I heard this just within the last week, and I couldn't believe this statistic. But I'm sure you know this, Dudek. But the last time, when was the last time the Steelers finished last place in their division?
1988.
Yes.
Oh my God! Are you kidding?
You even know it. 1988.
1988.
Wrap your head around that, guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next closest team, I think, was 2000. So they have easily over a 15-year buffer, I think, between the next closest team or something.
Yeah.
88 was the last time they finished in last place.
If you give me a Giants trivia question and the answer is not Lawrence Taylor, I'm not doing it that quickly.
Bobby Brister.
Brister. Okay, yeah.
So,
that's
and
insane.
I mean, think about it, though. I mean, that was also when there was 4 and 5 teams, because I think there were some AFC Central days in there when there was 5 teams.
Yeah.
Because Jacksonville used to be part of our division as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, right, you got to go. So, for younger viewers and listeners, we're going way back before realignment, which was 2002. So, you got to go back to when there was just East the Central and West. There was no South Division. There was
divisions,
exactly. You had the NFC Norris, thanks to Chris Berman, right? That was the old.
Hey, by the way, did you guys notice that I found them on YouTube? You can find old NFL primetime, like the entire episode.
Yes.
On YouTube. Some of it's kind of grainy, but I've sat there and watched like episodes from 2003, 2006, and it's what, because obviously Tom Jackson was also great, but him and Berman, just way they played off each other, and the whole From game, which just started because just players from Louisville because of Tom Jackson, From. And all stuff, and the way that they just that's when ESPN was great, by the way.
Yeah.
No, that's
Isn't it funny that we could watch that and be tremendously entertained by that?
Absolutely.
But we cannot watch the replacement for it that's on today. After the games.
Absolutely not. I literally sat there one night. I think I watched 3 or 4 straight episodes. It was, some of them had commercials out of fast forward stuff.
But I couldn't wait for prime time. You guys kidding? Yeah. I couldn't eat all of it. Couldn't wait.
Yeah. It was great. It was great. So, for the Giants fans, because there's some of this is because I have my fantasy draft coming up on Sunday, so I need some insight. Your receiving core, obviously, with Neighbors coming back, he's looking a lot better than he did last time. You guys were on our pod and we were talking, and there's a guy that I saw in person that was damn impressive when he beat up, the Pitt Panthers in Fields, and who I think he doesn't have to be a starter, so I think he could be a really good weapon for you guys. What is your opinion on this developing receiving room, and how is Neighbors looking?
Neighbors is going to be ready to go from week 1 from all accounts. I think he'll be there. Mooney hasn't played a lot in the preseason, but I've heard he's had a lot of good practices this week. I think Mooney will be our number 2. Slayton is always that reliable number 3. Cardone hates Slayton, and that's fine. But I'll tell you what, Fields has done enough that by the end of the year, I think Fields will be our red zone target outside of Likely, and he will be the guy that will be getting a lot of love from Dart. So I actually see the wide receiver room going from a weakness last year to being a strength this year. Big hit. You mentioned it earlier with Calvin Austin being injured and gone for the year, unlike Jamar Chase, who looked like he was down and just hyperextended his knee. But
supposedly he's okay.
Yeah, he's fine. But it's one of those things where I think Neighbors will be back full speed week 1, which is a great thing, and it should be from the timeline that he had from the injury.
Okay.
I will say this though, dude, and these guys know we're all in the same fantasy. I'm retired from fantasy for reasons that just permanent scars, Dudek. I mean, so as you can imagine, 20 years of fantasy, tough losses, bad beats, all that. But Neighbors, I have seen him. I don't like to see this, but maybe it's the opposite. He's been on a lot of bust alert lists that I've seen with Neighbors. So mostly because of the injury, I think. So
100%.
So take that with a grain of salt, right? I mean, he's he's going to be ready. I don't think he's right. I mean, we think he's going to be there right from week 1, so I don't think he's going to miss any time early in the year. So
there was a lot of speculation in the offseason. I think we talked about this on the Burgh Cave pod, but at first it looked like maybe he'll go on PUP, maybe he won't be ready for the start of the year, and then camp came around. He's out there cutting and running like he's not doing contact yet. So the first contact he might see is against the Cowboys, which if their secondary is the way it has been, maybe he won't see contact in that game at all either. So we'll see.
Shots fired.
Well, we got a Cowboys fan in the chat, so I got to throw something.
Okay. Took an angle. I will say about Neighbors, and this might be a little bit to why he's on bust alert too, is that in the past, which isn't that long because we haven't had him very long, but the Giants have had a tendency to, and this helped get him hurt actually, is just like we fall into Neighbors, like every play, just get the ball to Neighbors. And, I think the play he actually got hurt on was like his 4th catch in a row or something. And,
right.
So I do think that with a new regime in here, maybe a little bit more diverse offense, some help in the backfield and Dart in place, maybe we won't do that. And maybe we'll be able to sneak him behind the defense a little bit more than just go in full time. We get in trouble. It's got to be Neighbors or bust.
Yeah, I mean, you think he's got to be a complimentary piece because there's a reason likely he's with you guys because he played for Harbaugh. So you got to think he's going to be – and listen, we said it last night. I think Baltimore made the wrong move. They should got rid of Andrews and kept Likely.
Yeah.
By far the better tight end right now because Andrews is a little bit older and things of that nature. So I think Likely might be your guys' kind of a breakout player. So my last question for both of you guys, for the Jets and for the Giants as well, who is a player on each of your respective teams that nobody outside of your fan base knows about, and you're going to, by week 3, week 4, something like, ooh, who the hell is this guy?
So I think it's easy for me, and that's A.D. Mitchell. He is the former Colts receiver who the Jets got as the throw-in on the Sauce Gardner trade, and he is a legit number 2 receiver. So if you're out there in fantasy world and you want to get a late-round flyer, take this guy. He beat every corner that he ran against last year, but that fool Justin Fields couldn't, throw him the ball because he was too afraid. So A.D. Mitchell is the easy answer for me.
I like it.
It's tough on the Giants side. I mean, I would tell you Fields is that guy because not many people know of him right now. But then again, he's a 3rd-round draft pick, and we trade up for him. There's a guy on special teams, Dylan Cambry, maniac.
Okay.
But because he's on special teams and he's a wide receiver right now, they'd have to keep 7 wide receivers for him to be there. But if they do, I think he's a guy that's going to turn a lot of heads.
I'm digging down on this one a little deeper, going on the defensive side of the ball. I just happen to like this guy a lot. Micah McFadden is one of our inside linebackers. Okay. He got hurt early in the year last year. He probably, not a popular name. He's just sort of one of those middle of the road kind of guys. But when he's playing at his peak, he's the kind of guy that's making plays and just buzzing and flying around the field. And certainly not the fastest guy, but he seems to be like he'll plug the hole and make a key run stop, on 3rd and short, that kind of thing. So he's back this year healthy, and I'm looking for McFadden to be a guy in the Giant defense, in the middle of that defense, that kind of will hopefully people start taking notice, Giant fans included, because he missed all of last year.
Yeah, that's a great call out, Cardone. But you just, when you're watching a Giants game, you just hear his name way too much.
Yeah.
For somebody who doesn't get any press, I'll go a little bit more obvious. I think because he's a guy in a crowded room right now, I think people forgot about a little bit, and that's Tyrone Tracy. I think Tyrone Tracy is a guy, Cam Scadaboo is being talked about as the starter of this Giants running back field. I'm not buying it. He might start the games, but I don't think he's going to get a lot of carries. I think he's going to be a 4th quarter, late in the season guy that they're going to try to keep healthy and unleash a little bit later. So I would look for Tracy and Singletary, and who's the other guy we got back there now?
We got Najee Harris.
Najee.
This was a setup question for you Giants guys, man. God damn it.
He has a bed.
I almost took the bait on that, dude. I was thinking Harris, but we don't know yet. We don't know.
I was waiting to see if I got any Pittsburgh Steelers love from Najee being. I think that's also why Juju is gone. I think Harbaugh can only take so many ex-Steelers on that team. He's enough of this shit.
Maybe
I can't have 2 of these guys. I'd be admitting something.
Yeah.
But I put Najee up there too, kind of neck and neck with Tyrone Tracy to see who kind of gets that role of being the guy. And they're similar backs, and I don't think a lot of people know about Tracy, but Tracy's a guy who would disappear from portions of the game and then break off a 60-yard.
Yeah. Well, hey, I remember him his rookie year. Whenever we played, I think we played on a Monday night or a Sunday night against Russell Wilson, and the Steelers were fortunate enough to win that game. But Tracy has a lot of nice runs that game, and I was very impressed with him then.
Yeah.
So Dudek, we appreciate you coming on. We're gonna we'll put all the socials out there, promote the Burgh Cave. But it's great to talk to you about the Steelers, and we'd love to keep this relationship going. Next year or even later this year, as maybe you're doing a playoff push and we're out of it by Halloween again. You never know.
God.
Yeah, we'll see. You know what? Hopefully, health was standing. That's the plan. Let's keep AA Ron upright and let's make a run at it, because if he goes down, Rudolph sure as hell ain't doing it. Rudolph will give us our 9-8 year, and Aller probably will give us more losses than wins, but maybe show some glimpses here and there. But it all depends. Like every team starts with those 5 boys up front. If they can keep them upright, should be a pretty good year for the Steelers.
Awesome.
Great insight. We really love it. You guys.
One favor to ask. I think it looks like it's week 10. Please just beat the Eagles for us.
Okay.
You guys are,
even though it's not, I don't care. I hate the Eagles. We hate Philadelphia. Any New York fan hates Philadelphia.
It's the Sunday before Thanksgiving. That would be a nice Thanksgiving treat for me going into that week. Please just beat the Eagles. Thank you.
I think that's in Philly too. I believe
it is. It is.
Shit. That is definitely the home and home. If we play them here, we win.
Yeah.
We go to Philly. There's a couple of bugaboos for this. There's 3 known bugaboos for the Steelers. It's in Philly.
Yep.
For some stupid reason, in Cleveland on a Thursday night.
Yes.
And then the old black hole, or the old Raiders black hole.
Yeah.
Those, it doesn't matter if we are 15-0 and they're 0-15. We will lose all 3 of those games. It's one of those bugaboos that I'm sure every team maybe have that, but so obviously we'll see because I mean Philly's going to be a good team obviously, but the idea is to beat them as well.
Well, I'll send you a reminder that week to please beat them.
I appreciate that. We'll definitely post it. I'll send it out to the team too. I'm like, hey, there's some guys in New York that want you guys to beat them. Like, you know what? Well, now we will. Now we will.
Yeah.
No, we definitely will. So, gentlemen, it's been a blast. I appreciate you guys having me on. Anytime you want me to come on, I'm definitely down. Gabe just texted me. He got stuck with he's part of his high school team there, like a booster meeting and something. So that's why.
Well, we'll be Gabe one of these days. Take care, dude.
Great talking to you.
Appreciate you coming on. Man. Thanks. So we do have another guest coming on. So you guys know we have the live show coming up on September 2nd. We're playing at the Carolina Beer Temple. And we're going to do our podcast. I think it starts at 6 p.m. So that's next Wednesday, a week from now. Yep. And then after that, we got a band coming on. And that band is called it's called Donkey.
There he is.
We got the lead. We got the one. Do we call him a founding member of Donkey?
Sure.
Founding member of Donkey, Howie.
What's up, Scott?
What's going on?
Hey, just living the dream.
Sporting the Panther jersey. I see.
Here we go. Little Shaq piece. Shaq Thompson. Let's go.
Oh, that's little Shaq Thompson. Is that what that is? 54. Okay.
It's the donkey.
Okay.
The donkey.
Oh, there it is. And
and the donkey T-shirt, no less.
How do we get our hands on those, Howie? How do I get me a cool donkey T-shirt?
Well, you got to come out to the live podcast next Wednesday, and we will have
be
merch
there.
available.
All right.
We got hats, shirts, and stickers, every size.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Does the group that opens up from you get free T-shirts?
We'll have to check the fine print of the contract.
We might be a little salty about that because we've gone the last 2 years where we've done a podcast on our own live, and now all of a sudden we're the opening act for a cover band.
Well, it should be a fun night. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah. So give us a little breakdown for our listeners on what Donkey is, the origin of it, and sort of what to expect.
Sure. So we've been around for maybe 10 years. It's just a group of, there's 5 of us. We're all dads that live here in South Charlotte. We're all covers. So no original music, but we like to cover strategy, and it's just, it's a lot of fun songs that people know and can sing along with and have a good time with. So we've got, the playlist has got something from the 80s, 90s, current stuff. We do, we've got 3 people that can sing. So we've got some fun harmonies. So we got like some Zach Brown and Eagles stuff going on with that. More current stuff, Morgan Wallen and whatever, just Southern rock, country rock, pop, whatever, all that.
I gotta laugh just because I actually like cover bands, because when I'm at a cover band, I understand what songs are going on. I have a guy in a poker group, and he missed a couple weeks ago, and he said, he goes, one of my buddies in his backyard, he's got Dishwalla there. And I thought to myself, that's great, Dishwalla playing a backyard. But then again, it's like, what happens after, counting blue cars? Do you just put that on loop like 5 times, or what do you do? You just do counting blue cars, you go, thank you very much, and you walk off the stage.
Just set on rinse, repeat. Yeah, no, we got something for everybody. So, it's fun. We play a lot of old, like 80s rock, sort of classic rock stuff, Tom Petty and whatnot. And, we've played college parties and whatnot in the past. And I always go into that afraid, like, will these kids even know who Tom Petty is? And you'd be surprised. They've got an impressive, knowledge of classic rock, and seem to like all the oldies. So, something for everybody.
Well, you got your son there. He's a younger age. He knows the oldies, right?
Well, he
Eli?
gets to contribute. He helped build our set list. He's added Tyler Childers, a couple of the newer folks that I've never heard of. He's forced onto the playlist, and now they're like the favorite songs that we play. So,
By the way, it's pretty sad that Tom Petty is considered the oldies. My God,
I know.
That's how old we are, man.
How
It's all
old
relative,
are
I
we?
guess,
Well, he is dead.
We're old.
We're
Yes.
old. It's gonna be a
He
late
is
night. Yeah, I like
currently
this.
Not living. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll have no such trouble here, Howie. We'll be a pretty steady stream of 45-plus-year-old people here.
Perfect.
I believe. Yeah.
Right in the
Should
sweet
be
spot of our demo.
Right in
Yeah,
the
that
wheelhouse.
works.
Yeah.
That's our wheelhouse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I
But
tell
for-
people if we play for 3 hours, we'll play 35 to 40 songs, and you will probably know the words to 30 of them. Then there might be a couple new ones that may be a B-side of somebody that you hadn't heard, or you might learn of a new artist, but you're going to know most of them, and it's just, fun to hang out and listen to and sing along.
But I got to say, is there anything better than going to a beer bar with a football trivia podcast followed by like 70s, 80s, 90s rock? I mean, is this the best night? I mean, for anyone listening to our podcast right now, if you don't go to this, you are missing out on just what is going to be the best night possible. Am I right, fellas?
I think G-Pack Dad and Bree Boy are gonna fly down from upstate New York and from Massachusetts to come watch the live show.
So actually, if I may, give me a second. I actually was promoting it the last several weeks, but I sent a reminder out to a couple groups of friends there, and I said, make sure that I said trivia, prizes, live music, unforgettable, life-changing experience. So I got the response, well, because you said it'll be life-changing, we're likely to show up. So we'll be there. So life-changing. Yeah.
Set the bar pretty high. I mean, the music for sure will be at least mediocre, and we hope a little better than that. The podcast will be world-class, no question.
Of course it will.
Sure.
But, the venue is great, too. The Carolina Beer Temple is an awesome spot. It's only been there a couple years. For people that haven't been out to that, it's an awesome spot. So, yeah, it's going to be a great night. We're really looking forward to it.
The new location where we were last year was really good. The first year we did it, we were at the old location, and we were sweating outside in like 95-degree heat. I know you were there, Howie.
Yes.
And then last year it was great to be indoors. And then so this year, the setup's completely different. They have a whole corner stage and everything else where you guys will be and where we'll be. So it's awesome.
Yeah, they've always had good beers, but they got a lot more space there, and they get a good crowd in there, so it'll be fun. Come early and tip the waitresses.
That's it.
Go.
So moving to football a little bit. Anyone have questions for the Panthers here?
I mean, we have questions.
I'm going to save my question for the end. Cardone, Mike, you guys have questions for Howie and Eli about the Panthers?
First of all, great name, Eli. That is a world class name. And maybe Howie too. Howie had something to do with that name. So
it's funny. So he's 18 now. So I guess he was born right around the time that Eli was winning his Super Bowls, and I'm pretty sure Eli may have topped the name of like most popular boys' names in the country for 2 or 3 years there. So we marched right along with everybody else.
Right around that. That's cool. What do you?
I gotta ask.
Go ahead, Scott.
No, I was going to ask thoughts on Bryce Young. I mean, last year, they made the playoffs. Bryce Young played reasonably well, but long-term prospects. Is he the guy? Or are you looking for another quarterback coming up?
You take this one.
Bryce Young. I think he has shown a lot of potential. He's gone through adversity in his career. I think he gets a lot of backlash just because of how we got him. Like, that trade was borderline the worst trade ever in like the history of football. So I feel like that just made it really tough for him at the start. And, I feel like he showed promise, and I think he's our guy. I think he can lead us to at least the playoffs for a couple of years and hopefully a Super Bowl at some point.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting to see how lost he looked at first. and then to take a step back and get some of that pressure taken off him and just come back and instantly be, maybe still not
It worked.
a Hall of
It
Famer.
kind of worked. I mean,
yeah, he
who
comes
thought
back.
that was going to work?
He just looked like a different guy.
Yeah, he closed up the season really well, and so I think everybody's hopeful. It's just hard to get behind a guy that's 5'7", but we're trying to.
We do have a question from one of our listeners, G-Pack Dad. He's asking, what are your go-to Tom Petty songs for the?
Oh, okay. So Mary Jane's Last Dance is probably our fave. I play a little harmonica and guitar and sing on that one. Let's see. We've got, we actually played a gig the day after Tom Petty passed away. This is whenever, 3-4 years ago. And so we learned like 6 of them and did a whole medley of his stuff. So there's a lot of good ones to choose from. I don't know if you listen to Tom Petty channel on Sirius. He's got so many great songs, but probably Mary Jane is on top of the list for us.
So should we get ready for a Dolly Parton medley this next
I was going to ask that, Mike.
Well,
I will always love you.
We had someone in our so watching the podcast said something to the effect of the Jets are as lifeless as Dolly Parton. So yeah, so
they went there.
They went there. Like, so this is happening on our YouTube channel. So I don't know who said it, but
Dolly was universally loved by everyone.
Dolly was the best. I mean, everyone loved her. I loved her. Everyone did. Yeah, that's a tough loss. It really is.
That's hard to do these days, It's just there aren't people like that. They don't make them like that anymore.
So I have a question for Eli. So Eli, you were born here in Charlotte. So Howie, grew up in Ohio. He's now a Panther fan. I have so many questions about that, but we can't get into that. You were born into being a Panther fan. Are you happy with that? Do you like the Panthers? Like, what's your take on the Panthers overall?
They're definitely. I mean, we had a couple good years. The years of Cam, obviously, when he wins the Super Bowl. Then before I was born, we had a couple good years too. But I'd say for the most part, it's been since I've really could comprehend football. We haven't really been great.
No.
So it's tough, but
it's not been Jets tough, but it can't be easy being a Panther fan. To be quite honest, I mean, you've been pretty bad over the last few years. Although they won that division last year in the worst division in the history of sports. Let's be honest. I mean, they got into the playoffs at what were you 8-9 getting in the playoffs?
Yeah, losing record. They lost the last week. They thought they needed to win it. They lost in week 17, and then the other team lost. They ended up backing into it.
Can I give my favorite Panther stats? There's two.
Please.
Of them. The first one is they are the only team to make the playoffs with 2 losing records.
Oh, twice. Okay.
And they're the only team in the NFL, that have never had back-to-back winning seasons.
They do.
Even
still
when
going
you think about that, you think about some of the success the Panthers have had under John Fox, Ron Rivera. Those guys never had back-to-back winning seasons. They've always had a winning season and maybe an 8-8 or a 7 well, back then it was 7-9.
Yeah.
But
contrast that with your Steelers.
Right.
That you just had a few minutes ago, right?
Yeah.
I mean, now the Jets are they're in a whole other category. So
don't even,
no.
Yeah.
I mean, a winning season every other year might sound pretty good to some teams. What do you think, Scott?
I would love that.
I'll take it.
I'd take that right now.
Yep.
I haven't had a winning season since 2015, and I've not been in the playoffs since 2010, not won a division since 2002, and not won a Super Bowl since 1969. So there is no one that can match the loserness that I have dealt with. No one. Just saying.
Up there. Now, before I moved to Charlotte and became a Panther fan, I grew up in Ohio. I was a Browns fan, so I suffered through some tough ones up there too.
I think you were able to turn in your fandom if you're a Browns fan.
Oh, 100% agree. You
Oh, I know. And then they left for Baltimore. The whole thing stunk.
Exactly. Leaving. We've talked about this on this pod, Howie, where the team if our team, I don't know how I would handle that if the Giants ever left. And here I live in Charlotte here now, of course, but I grew up in New Jersey. I grew up a season ticket holder. If they left and became a different team, a logo, everything, the name, there's no way I could stay like true to that, to the, even like the new, here's the next edition of the New York Giants. I don't know. I don't think I could do it. I don't know what would happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure they lost a whole generation of Browns fans in there.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe
That's
some of
tough.
the old ones that just, will never forgive.
Probably not.
Never forget, never forgive.
So I have one more question, and this is for both Howie and Eli. And this is a little deep, and really think about this one before you answer. So I feel like every team in the NFL has like a patron saint, right? I mean, the Jets, it's like Joe Namath, and the Giants is Lawrence Taylor and Wellington Mara, and the Bears is, George Halas. And when I think of the Panthers, I think that their patron saint is Sir Purr. So, I mean, would you guys agree with that? Because I feel like that symbolizes the Panther organization is Sir Purr. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I'll take that one.
Got it.
You got it, Dad. Take it.
Spoken like a Jets fan. I don't know. It's an easy shot. Okay, that's low hanging fruit. I don't begrudge you for going there though. Sir Purr's an awesome mascot. I'm not sure he's our patron saint. We've got a few to choose from, but we're a young franchise. We're not going to have the George Hall. It's just we're not going to have the history that some of the franchises have. But hopefully, it's not Cam Newton or time will tell. Yeah. Luke Kuechly looked pretty good in the gold jacket. It might end up being Luke Kuechly.
I was going to say, hey, Kuechly just went into the Hall of Fame, so you certainly can hang your hat on that for sure.
I like how you guys made Sam Mills an honorary Panther and the keep pounding when he really was a saint for most of his career.
He was, and I would say he's probably the guy just because of how how the end of his life came about, and he had a big impact on this team. And when the young team that's kind of searching for an identity, he provided it. I think, and a lot of the culture,
the
came
community,
from him.
Yeah, the community as well here. I mean, he really embraced Charlotte while he was here.
Yeah,
I mean, and I would also say, like, all kidding aside, like I was sort of busting about the Sir Purr thing, but you go to a Panther game, it's a good experience. The city of Charlotte, which we all live, embraces this team. It like they love their Panthers, and it's great for the city, and they really have made Charlotte what it is in a number of different ways. I mean, it's a great experience going to a Panther game. I do enjoy it. It's different than going to a Giant or a Jet game because I've been to both. It's not as much of a tailgating situation, but it's fun. It's a good time. It's in the city. It's cool. But it's a different experience. But I think the Panther games are fun to go to.
Your chances of getting into a fist fight or getting thrown up on are lower at a Panther game.
Very, very, very true.
So Howie, I mean, we're looking forward to having the live show, having you guys play afterwards. We're sticking around to listen to you guys play, but anything else you got for us tonight?
Yeah, man, we just appreciate the invitation to be here tonight and talk a little Panther football, and really looking forward to the live show next week.
Yeah, next Wednesday, 1 week away.
Let's go.
Yes, and I want to wish Eli a good senior year. I know Eli's a big time baseball player, just so that we're all clear, and he's going to do great things. And really proud of him, knowing him like I do, and excited for what's in store for you as you finish up your senior year, go into college, and you're gonna do great things.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Awesome.
Thanks, Scott.
Great stuff.
Great seeing you guys. We'll see you next week.
See you next week, guys.
Take care. Keep pounding.
Keep pounding on us. Love it.
So I had to laugh. One of the comments coming in the chat was from Peacock, and he said, "What's the missing link for this Giants team? I mean, besides Sam Beal." So I looked it up while we're talking to Howie. Sam Beal is still fucking missing. He's missing for over a year. If you remember the Giants defensive back, he
That
has
makes it
not been
funnier.
found.
What's missing besides Sam Beal? I get it now. I wasn't connecting the dots on that. That's
So,
comedy gold, Brian.
so it's been a little bit of a interesting episode. I mean, I love the talk with the Burgh Cave. I love the talk with Howie. So we've gotten two teams on tonight. Don't know how deep we'll go into the stuff that we were going to go in. I mean, there's not a lot to break down from our preseason games. Giants really dominated the Dolphins, but then again, the Dolphins, their two quarterbacks that they were playing, because Willis didn't play, they were both rotating Division II winning quarterbacks. They were Division II championship quarterbacks that were playing. And for every guy that makes it from Division II, there's 27 that fail. So, our depth looked great during that game. Slayton played well. Golston played well. Josh Azudu was traded to the Kansas City Chiefs, like I mentioned, for a 7th rounder in 2028. Dominic Zavada looked pretty good. Nothing there that there's to worry about. And then Banks and Newsom both at cornerback look good. But guys, again, I mean, it's preseason. We're just hoping for no injuries. We did get a major injury with Austin, as we talked about. But
well, let's put it this way. Again, yeah, preseason, as we've been saying for the last couple of weeks, player evaluation. You don't really look at the outcomes of the games, really, in terms of wins and losses and stats and all that. But looking at the box score of the Giant-Dolphin game, I'd much rather be the Giants than the Dolphins. If that I don't know if you guys saw the statistics. It was pretty
terrible,
freaking alarming. The Giants won 26-3. Oh, that was also the identical number of first downs each team had. Giants had 26 first downs. The Dolphins had 3. I thought I was looking at the score at first. I said, no, that's first downs. Yeah, and then you look at yes, you just highlighted a couple of players, Scott. In terms of the Giants look good, but you know how I feel about Slayton. He actually looked like he was an NFL receiver out there, catching the ball 4 times, 58 yards, stuff like that. So hopefully, we got to talk about the Snoopy Bowl, I guess, coming up now, right?
Oh, that's right.
I got one last thing to say about the Giants Dolphins. There is, and this is kind of what my preseason viewing has become now. So I'm very interested, especially with the Giants. Maybe I wouldn't be interested if I were a fan of another team. But in the kicking situation, of course, we've lost several games over the last couple of years because of our kicking situation. Scott mentions Vada. I'll mention Stout here. 3 punts, all landed inside the 20. Still managed an average of 41, which is not a great average. But when all 4 punts are being downed inside the 20, those were short field kicks. And as Cardone just said, we've got an NFL. Slayton looks like an NFL receiver. We got an NFL punter.
I don't remember Hammer
two
getting
of those 4 punts ended up in fumbles. So the Giants didn't recover one; they recovered another one. So it was interesting.
Yeah, 3 inside the 20. We haven't had that since Jeff Fiegels, I think.
Yeah. So if we can finally put the kicking game thing to bed, I mean, that's a win a year.
It is, at least.
Literally, sometimes, yeah. So
Novak, are the Jets playing this week because their starters? Because I think the Giants actually are going to play their starters for at least a series.
I mean, I'd rather you ask this question after about 6 more IPAs, but I mean, I'm being honest.
6 more times.
Because I'm seeing on our YouTube thing, it says this pod is much better when Scott is drunk. And but no, do I think we're playing starters? I do not. I think it is going to be, which is kind of sad. I mean, when we've talked about this before, the Snoopy Bowl is stupid. No one cares who wins. It's dumb preseason. It doesn't matter. But back in the 80s and 90s, predominantly in the 80s, kind of meant something. It was interesting to watch. Now it's the 3rd game of the preseason. No one cares. It's going to be 90% of the guys that are playing in this game are going to be cut the next day. And it's kind of sad that this is what it's come down to. But no, the Jets are not going to play any starters. I think Klubnik will get a significant amount of time. We'll see Bailey Zappi and Brady Cook and a couple of these other clowns that are out there. You guys will probably do the same thing. I saw some guy in the Giants number 2. I don't know who is this guy, your quarterback that was playing in this game. He'll probably play the full 4 quarters. not really concerned about it. Candidly, I probably won't watch because I really don't care. I am interested to see if Ryan Clark's kid makes the Jets team, which I really hope he doesn't, just because it's Ryan Clark's kid. But other than that, no, I don't really care.
And there's not a whole lot around the league. The biggest news that came out was that Deshaun Watson was named the starter for the Browns, and a lot of people are saying he didn't deserve it. I think you're picking one half of one, half dozen of another or whatever with him and Shedeur Sanders. Sanders hasn't looked great either. I think the bigger problem people have is that Deshaun Watson doesn't look great, and he's a veteran.
He's a pervert, is what he is.
And speaking of which, the other thing around the league, you mentioned it when the Burgh Cave was on. Jed York getting busted for prostitution charges. What is
going on in this league? No, is there a worse trade in the history of sports than Deshaun Watson?
I don't think there is.
Herschel Walker, maybe? Given the Cowboys 3 Super Bowls?
At least Herschel Walker was good.
True.
This guy is just a clown.
Yeah.
They did it knowing that this massage parlor crap was coming down, and they still made the trade for this guy.
Yeah, that's the thing that's blown me away about it is if they traded for Deshaun Watson and then this happened, okay.
Right.
All right, fine. Right. But as I think we talked about it last week with the way they did Baker Mayfield after bringing that franchise back to, I don't want to say prominence, but he made him not a laughing stock. Now, I kind of agree with the Browns fan at the time who didn't think that Baker was the guy to take him all the way. But if you're the Cleveland Browns and you're worried about going all the way, let's just win 9 games first. Just chill out.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that whole thing was nasty, and you can't help but think there is some football karma, some football gods who are just said, "Hey Browns, we tried to lift you out of this. You'd go and do something like this. You're back in the cellar."
How infuriated would you be as a Giants fan if after years of bad play, Dart takes you to the playoffs or whatever. He loses a playoff game, but he wins a playoff game too. And then you get rid of him a year later, and then you're stuck with nothing else but trash. And that's basically what the Browns have done.
Yeah.
That would not sit well.
No.
No way.
So, anything else from around the league before I move on? I'll start with pet peeves tonight because I have a bunch of small ones, and I'm going to try and keep this a little bit short because we are running low on time. But it cracks me up 2 things. I'll lump the first pet peeve in with a general comment here, and it's just preseason as a whole. But the general news, like not sports news, but like your local news, your national news, the way they cover sports in the preseason, it's almost like they treat it like it's the middle of the season. What a fantastic game we just had between the Raiders and whoever they came back to beat the other day, the Cardinals, or I can't even remember who it was. They made this game out to be like it was some epic game, an epic comeback. It's preseason. By the end of the game, I think O'Donnell was the quarterback, or O'Connell, whatever his name is, was the quarterback. Mendoza was sitting. None of the starters were playing. And you top that off, and then you see the ticker going down below, and it talks about fantasy alert. And the fantasy alert was that Ashton Genty was injured. And you need to basically put your lineups on hold because Ashton Genty was injured. Ashton Genty ended up having a hurt ankle. Like they thought he was going to be out for the year. And I'll be honest with you, I jumped the gun. I texted you guys about Jamar Chase. I said he might be out for the year. It turns out he hyperextended his knee. The Cardone, you getting out of fantasy football is probably the best thing possible because
I don't miss it.
We're inundated with all this shit now about injury news. This guy's out. This guy's out. This guy's starting. This guy might not be starting. You listen to people the last couple games watching the Giant games. They think Tyrone Tracy's getting cut because he missed a block and fumbled. He's going to be on the team. It's like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah. Media, man.
The regular news during preseason is funny. They're very win focused, but they're not that into it, but they're like, it's always some pretty chick up there going, oh, Panthers, they're like playing the Steelers or something, for example. And, oh, my co-host is a Steeler fan and go Panthers. It's like, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Simmer down.
And then the other one I have here, it's not a pet peeve. It's that I love the fact, and you guys are going to hate this because I'm going to talk about soccer here. I love that English soccer and the fans, they do chants. And the one chant is from a team called Millwall. And can you imagine an NFL team where the whole stadium is erupting? And Millwall was known back in the 70s, so you're going back a ways, for their hooliganism and their fans acting up. And their chant is, no one likes us, no one likes us, no one likes us, we don't care. We are Millwall, we don't care. Can you imagine like a stadium erupting? During the game. This is like, because obviously there's lulls in the play, so there's.
I'm not sure if that's. I'm not sure what's worse, that or Duval. I'm not sure.
But can you imagine being an NFL team and the whole stadium's just chanting? And I could see the Eagles doing this. We are Philly. We are Philly. We ain't shit. We don't care.
I mean, Jets fans would say it to the Jets. We don't like you. I mean, because we don't. We hate you.
Got an easy way to fix this, Scott. Don't watch soccer.
Yeah.
Let's just go around that.
Just do what everyone else does. Don't watch.
Do they hand out the words? That was a lot of words. Like, I got lost halfway through with your chant there. I was like, how do they know? Do they hand them out at the beginning? How many times
there's some pretty intricate chants when they when you start getting to Liverpool, they start doing chants. But it's like, this is like they have like 3 or 4 standard songs that they sing during a game, and the whole stadium starts doing it in unison. I don't know if it's like Fire Marshal Ed that starts getting up and
oh,
leading which we haven't seen. We haven't seen him lately, have we?
Is he alive?
No. He's alive. Yeah, he's still around.
All right. Thought he was hanging out with license plate guy on the Giants.
Oh, God. License plate guy is the best.
No pet peeves.
So I have one pet peeve, and it hits me in a number of different ways. It's sort of a pet peeve, but it's an old man take. I mean, we're all old men, and so this hits me pretty close to home for 3 different reasons. Number one, I work in higher ed, as you all know. I was in a fraternity, which I believe that Scott was, Cardone was. Mike, were you? I don't think you were not. So Scott and Cardone were. And I also went to school in Pennsylvania. This shit that is going down at Penn State, what is going on at these fraternities? Hazing back in the day was do something to people that would make you laugh. They're running coke rings. What is going on? I mean, come on. I read this article. They have pledges cutting up coke and running them around campus. And then they're having like laser parties with invites on like scanning QR codes. What is this college anymore? What are we doing?
It's like a cartel. Yeah.
Right.
No, Mac. It's funny you said that because I was putting in my chat with my fraternity brothers last week. We had a brother named Mark Rode, and we called him Rodeo. And we were like, can you imagine Rodeo? He would be like lording over you, going, "Pledge, cut that coke, do a line, make sure it's good quality, bag it up quick." This would be, if we were at Penn State, that would be my life as a pledge.
But where did it turn from like all we cared about was making people laugh? Like we had a pledge that we made him wear. Like, we strapped a bottle of Listerine to him because he had bad breath, and then but it was funny. Like that would make other people laugh. But now they're running coke. Like what is going on in this world that we live in? Like I'm sorry. Like I was so annoyed by this whole story. It makes fraternities look bad. It makes the state of Pennsylvania look bad. It makes higher education look bad. And I don't know. I just had a hard time with it.
The bigger question is how many scandals does Penn State have to have before people come down?
Yeah.
And Penn State. Here's a note
major stuff.
Here's a note to the Penn State administration: don't have a whiteout this year. Like, don't be stupid. Like, stop it.
Yeah. Are you kidding? That's opening day, probably.
Probably these fools. Like, what are we doing? Running
The
coke.
white. I
God.
didn't even think about the whiteout. You have the
Yeah.
whiteout.
And they're gonna do it because they're too stupid not to realize that they can't do a whiteout. You can if you're Penn State, right?
Lean into it. They're going to lean into it. They're going to do it.
And then the blue stripe right down the middle. That's like that represents like the razor blade, like going right down the middle. You know what I mean?
See, I thought this was all going on in the 80s. This is why I didn't join a frat. I thought you guys all walked around holding each other's dicks and stuff. I didn't know. Like, I had no idea. I was like, I'm not doing that. So,
We just got humiliated, but we weren't like in the
Yeah.
drug rings. I mean, come on.
Yeah, we just
I had to
drank,
drink
like,
out of a
yeah.
boot one time, like from a rugby player. That was the most disgusting shit ever.
Yeah.
That was about the worst I ever had to do.
I had to sing "Love on the Rocks" by Neil Diamond in a Speedo to a sorority, and that was about like the most embarrassing thing I had to do.
I had to eat a raw
nonetheless-
egg, shell and everything. Just put a raw egg in my mouth and just start chewing. I mean, just yeah.
no.
This reminds me of Rocky Balboa here.
Exactly. Yeah, at least it was, it was probably healthy. Who knows? Probably the healthiest thing I ate all semester.
Mike, pet peeve?
Yeah, I got a very serious one. I know we usually don't take on too serious topics here, but I wanted to really get this one out. So I am really fucking tired of flavored potato chips. I am. I'm fed up with it. And, you know, it's my own fault because I let him get away with sour cream and onion back in the day. I said, that's fair, right? But now I can't. Have you been in the chip aisle? There's like bacon and mashed potato. You know, it's stupid and it's done. The potato chip should taste like potato chips. If you want flavor, you get a dip. The dips have flavors, right? That is what the dip is for. Just stop it. And I'm going to throw sour cream and onion in there now because I do like sour cream and onion chips, but I can't. You know, I have to be fair here. They all need to go. Every one of them. I don't want flavored chips. Make more variety and dip. That's it. You know what? How many dips are there? There's like 2 dips. There's French onion and like one other one. Sour cream and onion. Right? They should be putting their efforts into the dip, not the damn chips. Right? Look at Brian's at French toast chips. Like, come on.
Yeah, Mike, that is such another great old man take because when you think about it, you go to like the chip aisle at the Publix or Harris Teeter or whatever, and you look up and you're like, how many friggin' flavors are there? Back in the day, we had like Ruffles and Wise. That's it. You got no other choice.
No,
It was It was just the texture. Like it was either
yeah.
like it was ridged or like unridged, or
they
you know,
all
like
tasted the
Ruffles.
same.
Ruffles came out and be like, "Holy shit, look at this thing!" You know, yeah. Or Pringles. That was it.
So that's they need to up the dip game and just go back to chips, right? So if you think about it, who's dominating the snack aisle right now, right? It's corn chips. It's what do you call them? Like Tostitos.
Yeah.
Why? Because they don't go nuts with flavors. They lean into the salsa. You know, I got a whole theory on it. But anyway, I'll just
Love it.
my whole thing is just stop with the flavored chips.
Novak, you mentioned that earlier about I think when Dudak was on, you were talking about, you know, us being old men, you know, yelling at clouds. And it's funny because one of my fraternity brothers this week, one of his comments is like, you guys are old men yelling at clouds. But then again, we're all over 50. We deserve to be old men yelling at clouds.
That's our time. This is our time. This is what we've been waiting for, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cardo, pet peeve?
So, you know, besides football, the four of us, we watch all sports, right? We watch pretty much, I mean, Scott's watching soccer, for God's sakes. We watch pretty much all major sports, right? So right now, the only sport going right now is baseball. And
Oh, the WNBA.
Oh, yeah, WNBA, of course. They're going to bulldoze on the court and such. So, yeah, so baseball is the only really sport that's going as far as a regular season right now. And I don't watch a ton of it because as a Yankee fan, I just wait for them to fail in October and wait to the playoffs. So I'm not watching a ton. But what little I have watched is, have you guys paid attention to this fucking ABS challenge system and what's going on in baseball? So I didn't even know what ABS stood for. It's automated ball strike challenge system. So now it's not just instant replay. Major League Baseball instituted this ABS where the catcher and pitcher can, or the hitter can tap their head to dispute balls and strikes now. But like what's going on is they have less than 2 seconds to tap their head. So after a ball is questionably on the strike zone, the hitter's doing this, the umpire is doing it, giving the strike 3 call. He's not paying attention to the batter. The batter's sitting there smashing the top of his head like Jerry and Elaine were at the party in Long Island trying to like save each other from like being in conversations they didn't want to get stuck in. And so the umpire then, they're saying like, no, you didn't get it in time. No one knows what's going on. Guys are hitting their heads. Catchers are hitting their heads. Umpires are getting defensive because they're getting shown up. Managers are getting thrown out of games now because they're coming out to argue whether or not even the call, just whether or not his fucking player tapped his head or not. It's an absolute sham. It's insane what's going on and this is what's going on across all sports, guys. Like the officiating, we're not going to get into that in general, but just the instant replay and the way it's not even called by humans anymore. And baseball has now, instant replay was fine as far as if a guy is out, beating out a ground ball, I could live with that. But this ABS thing with the balls and strikes is absolutely brutal. I don't know how much you guys have watched of it. I've seen a couple games here and there, and you can't even. You don't even know what's happening half the time. Guys are just it's a game within the game that doesn't even belong there, and it's abysmal. It's an abomination.
The funniest thing is, Cardone, I mean, for the longest time, every time I'd watch a Yankee game and they would challenge something, they'd lose.
Yep.
And I was like, what the fuck is going on? You guys are making the stupidest challenges ever. And then I looked and I saw like they were 11th in the league in success rate. I'm like, how could that be possible? I don't think I've seen the success yet. And it's like you said, like these guys, they strike out or they get ball 2 and they think it's inside. They tap their head and sometimes it registers, sometimes it doesn't. It's like the ghost runner. Why is baseball fucking around with rules?
But the umpire he's not paying attention some of the time. So the guy's like, no, I tapped it right away. And you see the replay and the guy immediately, if it's the hitter, as soon as the pitch comes in, he taps his head. The umpire's not looking at him. So what do you want him to do? So then that's when the manager comes out. Next thing you know, it's ridiculous. So it's gotten really bad.
It's like an automated system and it is indisputable, right? So if it says the ball grazed the strike zone, it's a strike.
Yes.
And that's it. Why do we need umpires?
Why do we need them?
If it's indisputable, if that thing is indisputable and there's no overturning it, it's 100% correct all the time, get them out. Because I wouldn't mind that. You just throw a pitch, or red light or a green light comes up. No fighting it, no arguing. Catcher throws the ball back. That's it. I wouldn't hate that.
We're gonna be there. Are we not? At some point, that's coming. It's going to happen. And I agree, Cardone, great pet peeve because I watch these games and it takes away from it. And do they have one left? Do they not? Are they going to challenge this? It's a whole thing, and it adds a whole dimension to the game, and it just makes it worse.
You just keep saving those challenges. If you're correct, you could have 7 of them in a game. If you're right each time, they don't go away. The whole thing is an abomination. The worst part is the umpires are probably feeling like they're getting shown up for bad calls over and over, and so they're not. A lot of times, I feel like they're intentionally not paying attention to see if the guy disputes the call because they don't want. I don't know if they're keeping track of how many incorrect calls these umpires have, but I'm sure that works against them if they keep calling balls and strikes incorrect.
I don't know if Peacock is a Mets fan, but he said ABS killed the Mets season. I'm pretty sure the Mets killed the Mets season.
The Mets suck. I mean, come on.
He is a Mets fan.
Come on. Stop it. Mets suck ass as they usually do.
So, we have some questions here. Peacock, if you want to ask questions, put some in the chat. But we already have some on the dock here, and some of these are good. So the first one is, how do we like the live stream, and will we stay with the format? So we like the live stream. I mean, it's a lot easier for us to run like this. I think I think as long as we can get the audio issues, fixed from last week, which I think we did this week, guys, it's a much easier format. We can bring guests on. We can have them come in seamlessly like we did tonight. I think it'll stay.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. The only thing I don't like is I'm still working on. I still have Darren working on my audio situation. So I've seen several times that I'm not talking tonight. I've got the purple ring around my square, which means my microphone is picking stuff up. So I'm working on that. So if it sounds like I'm talking from a dryer or something, just know that I'll have that fixed.
I got to remember to keep the public chat thing going on the side here. I forgot about it halfway through. I'm like, oh yeah, there's a chat window going. Forgot about it. But I like the interactiveness of that. That's cool.
No, I actually enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed having the guests on tonight. I didn't know how that would go, and I thought it was pretty fluid. So credit to Scott for keeping that going, but he did a good job of navigating that. So I thought it was great.
Absolutely.
Dudek did a great job in keeping the conversation going. Asked us some great questions. I really do like that podcast, and I think we have some ties here to a Kansas City podcast. So I'm going to try and get some guests on when we can. Mike also asks, should we play starters this week, Jets and Giants? I think the Giants have already come out and said they're going to play the starters at least a little bit. I don't think the Jets are, but no. I don't know whether I care about this or not. It's the last preseason game. The bigger thing I have about the preseason, and we were talking about this before we came on air, is that this preseason game's done, on Saturday, Friday, whatever. And then you have a whole week where no one plays, and then you have to wait till the following Wednesday when they go to frickin' Australia or wherever it is to open up the season.
Perfect schedule.
We have a lot of old man takes tonight. We really have. But this is my last one. Back in the day, you did the last game on a Saturday and you started the following Sunday. It's just the way it was. None of this stupid Thursday night game bullshit. Sunday, 1:00 after a week off and, getting the rosters in place. It was the greatest to start on a 1:00 on a Sunday. Football is back. Week 1. Let's go. This bullshit, I hate it. I absolutely hate how this is running now.
Well said. As an old man, I yell at the cloud with you.
Mike also asks, there's a study out there that 1 in 4 NFL players have CTE. And I'm saying at least because I think the brains that they have actually looked at, it's much higher. It's like 76%. But they're saying 1 out of every 4 players that have ever played have some sort of CTE. And will football be outlawed within our lifetimes? I don't think football will be outlawed in our lifetimes. I do think you're going to see a lot of push towards the flag football, and you're going to see a lot of push towards this whole thing of like let's make football less contact. But I'll tell you what, if boxing and MMA still exist, football will still exist. Football is still, in my mind, the national pastime.
It is.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere.
No.
The National Football League, football is not going anywhere. It's certainly not in our lifetimes. It's going to be around for a long time, but the measures of safety will not stop. So the rule changes, we're going to see that, unfortunately, or fortunately, whatever side you're on, but that's not going to stop for as long as we can see, right? I mean, they're going to try to make the game as safe as possible, but it's a violent sport, man. It just is. So there's injuries. There's going to be, repercussions as far as, injuries after these guys retire. It's just a part of the business. It just is.
I also think you're going to see the Guardians. Those stupid helmet things. I think permanently give it 7 to 10 years. You don't introduce something like that and test it out in the preseason and then offer it to some players to use it. Before you know it, the data is going to come back that helps CTE or concussions. They will be wearing those in 7 to 10 years, guaranteed.
Yeah. like the NHL. And I
Yep.
mean, we're old enough to remember Ron Duguay
Ron
skating
Duguay,
around without
yeah.
a helmet, and
Totally.
now do all the guys have the visor now too?
Yes.
Or is it they do, right? Because so
Yeah.
the NHL, so we've seen major changes in the headgear in the NHL, that's for sure.
Well, I also think is it Ron Duguay, the one that's like on his deathbed right now?
He is. Yes.
Yeah. It's pretty sad. He's in his late 60s.
Yep.
Yeah, he's still relatively young.
So Peacock asks a question about Scadaboo, and I've heard a variation of this. So I'll give his question, give my qualifier, we can give our answer here. But he says Scadaboo's becoming a problem in the locker room and in practice. Thoughts on that? Now, the issue here is that he's hitting hard in practice. He got rolled up into a couple guys' legs in practice, apparently, and the defenders didn't like that. Part of this, too, is Pat Leonard, who we look at as a shit heel of a reporter, has talked about Scadaboo like starting stuff in this realm, saying like, him going after players' legs when he's just rolling on the ground when he's not doing it on purpose. I think Scadaboo is not a problem at all. I mean, the guy plays balls out as long as he can. I think it's being blown out of proportion by one of the giant beat writers myself. But we'll see. You never know.
I don't know. I don't think it's an issue. I doubt it would become an issue.
So Mike got kicked off the internet from he's got a storm going through, which he's not too far from me. So maybe I have a storm coming through too now.
It's probably coming.
Storm might be coming. You guys got anything else tonight?
I do not. I think this is our last pod until the live pod.
It is.
So I just want to throw out, if anyone's listening at this point or they're going to listen on a download, if you live in Charlotte or in the surrounding area, it's going to be a good time. So get out there, 6:00. We'll have prizes and trivia and funny podcast stuff, and Donkey is really good. And so just encourage everyone to check it out. It'll be a lot of fun. And if you're listening and you want to watch it online, we'll be live streaming from there. So it'll be a good thing to watch too.
Yeah, we will also be live streaming next week, and we're really looking forward to the live show. We've done it now. This will be our third year. And doing it in our third year, I think we worked out some of the kinks, and having the ability to live stream now will be great. But we're having a ton of fun in the preseason doing this, and we're having way much more fun in the preseason than we have in the regular season. We're hoping this year it carries over
Let's
the
hope
regular
so.
season.
God.
Yeah.
All right. We
We're
appreciate everyone's support. We will see you guys next week. And if you guys don't have anything else, we'll close this out, and we'll look forward to the live show next week when we'll be live. We'll try to answer your questions. I don't know how visible everyone's chat will be, but we'll do our best.
I did make it back.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw
right.
Mike. You're back. Woo!
And the good news is, I don't know what happened, but everything shut down, and then my microphone started working on the headset. So
You actually do sound a lot better now. So
yeah.
Glad
Can
you
we
got
start
it.
again? You guys want to start over?
It's like the car radio in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles when they had the car fire, and he's like, the whole thing was melted, and he's like, it's hard to believe. You have no functioning gauges? No, not a one. But the radio's clear as a bell somehow. We don't know how with all this mess, but that's now Mike. He had all kinds of technical problems. He comes back. It's working fine. It's working perfect.
Everything's fine.
You know what I love about this? I usually end a podcast like 2 minutes early when they start to shut everything down. People are going to miss gold here.
Bonus content. You got to stay on.
All right. We will see everyone next week at the live show, and then after that, we'll see everyone for the regular season. Take care.
See you at the temple.
See ya.